Autumn is the perfect time to plant tulip bulbs. Really, they can be planted any time through October, November, even through December. And in this video, I'll show you some of my favourite tulip varieties for pots, like this lovely tulip White Emperor. You'll sometimes find this variety named as Purissima, and it's a very regal, upright tulip which carries its ivory white flowers over a long period. Columbus is another long-lasting tulip with double flowers, rather like a peony, packed with raspberry pink petals, each with a pale, almost white edge. Flowering from mid-April, its strong stems make Columbus an excellent cut flower. Flaming Flag is a fabulous triumph tulip with eye-catching, deep, purplish pink streaks flaming up the sides of each white petal. Being a single flower, it copes with wet weather better than some doubles. Exotic Emperor is one of my favourites, with striking green spikes running up the outside of the petals. It belongs to the Fosteriana group, with double or semi-double flowers in a creamy colour with delicate green accents. Then there's Purple Prince, with its single form and simple elegance in a deep, rich, velvety purple. For me, it flowered in late March and early April, with each flower boasting a beautiful sheen that catches the light. It's quite short, at just over a foot tall, robust and stocky, making it the perfect choice for patio pots. And lastly, here's the multi-headed tulip Antoinette, sometimes called the Chameleon tulip, as the lovely pink coloration gradually spreads across those creamy lemony petals as the flowers age. I've included a lovely profile of Antoinette at the end of this video. So there are some of my favourite tulips, but you'll find many more too, with different colours, heights and flower forms. So take your pick. Although shorter growing tulips like Purple Prince remain compact and look great in pots, I find taller tulip varieties ideal for patio containers too, with one proviso that I'll show you later in this video, and that's the importance of deep planting to help provide tall stems with more support to hold them firmly and keep them upright. So let's get started with my step-by-step tulip planting guide. I do hope you're enjoying this video, and if you are, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel by clicking the button below. Thank you. I like using a really large pot because I find the bigger the pot, the more compost it will hold, the more bulbs you can plant, and the bigger and brighter the display of flowers will be next spring. And most tulips will be flowering around about March, April, maybe even into early May. Now my big pot has got drainage holes in the bottom, so water will drain away. And I'm going to fill it with a peat-free compost. This compost will hold on to moisture, but it's quite free draining, and I'll fill it about 2/3 full, so that the level of the compost is a good 6-7 inches below the rim of the pot. Just firm down lightly with your fingers. Now you can choose any tulip variety to grow in a pot. Any variety will be perfect. The bulbs themselves have got a tip and a basal plate, so always make sure you plant tulips the right way up. Spread the tulips out. I plant them about 3 to 4 inches apart, and I start by going around the edge of the pot itself. Then I plant one bulb in the middle and space the remaining bulbs around. Again, you'll notice they're evenly spaced and about 3 to 4 inches apart between bulbs. So a pot of this size, a good 2-foot pot, will hold 24 or so bulbs. You could plant a few more and plant a bit more generously, but this should be fine. And the bulbs are planted so that they will be covered by at least twice their depth in compost. I've planted mine a tiny bit deeper. I don't want the flowers to blow over in the wind, so I think plant them about 5-6 inches deep, covering with compost, will be perfect for this variety. And once all the bulbs are planted, cover with compost. Again, I'm using this peat-free multi-purpose compost. Continue adding compost till it sits an inch or two below the rim of the pot. That's perfect. Just lightly firm down with your fingertips, but don't consolidate it too hard. Now just water thoroughly to settle the compost down around the bulbs. Make sure the compost is nice and moist. You might need to water a little bit during the winter if the compost looks dry. Otherwise, I keep these pots in a sheltered part of the garden. Some are in the sun, but sheltered so that hopefully the compost doesn't freeze and get waterlogged. And then the bulbs will grow up and you'll have a beautiful flowering display to enjoy next spring. Growing tulips in pots and other spring flowering bulbs for that matter is so simple, and you'll find another video on my channel at Adam's Gardening Guides on planting daffodils too. Planting tulips into your garden borders follows the same process, so if you want tulips in your garden instead of pots, then I hope this video has shown you just how easy they are to plant. But I wanted to come back to tulip varieties for a moment and share something many people haven't realised. And this is that some tulip varieties are multi-headed, producing several flowers on a single stem, while other varieties just have one flower at the top of each stem. So take a look at the multi-headed tulips like the beautiful orange Shogun or pure white Weißer Berliner, or my favourite of all, Antoinette. And that's what I'm going to describe to you in more detail now. I grow lots of spring flowering bulbs in my garden, both in pots and in the border soil. And this one is an absolute favourite. It's a tulip and it's called Antoinette. It also has the common name of the chameleon tulip, because as the flowers fade from a yellow and they get a little bit older, they start taking on this pink coloration, which as the blooms fade gets even deeper, transforming the display. No wonder it's called the chameleon tulip. I also love Antoinette for another reason. It's a multi-flowered tulip, so even though some stems produce one flower on a stem, others like this one have got 3. Some have 2, some have more. So you get a greater flowering display from each bulb. Now, bulbs of tulips need to be planted in the autumn. You'll usually find them available to buy from probably September or October. And you can plant up your pots or out into the garden really any time from October onwards. Tulips can be planted through October, but sometimes it's better waiting into November or even to December to plant them. And then they'll start growing in the spring and start blooming, this variety, around about the middle of April, right the way through to the middle of May. There's a lot of different varieties of tulips you can grow in your garden, hundreds of them probably, colours to suit any colour scheme. So if you want something to brighten up your spring outlook, look no further than tulips. As I say, get ready to order the bulbs in the summer for autumn delivery and late autumn planting, and then you'll be enjoying beautiful flowering displays like this in the spring.